ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Everyone can raise your hands like this, and you can also chant with me. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं। हरि ओं तत्सत्। उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्योर्नमाम्यहम्। श्रीनरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय श्री नरसिंहदेव। प्रह्लादेश जय पद्मा मुख पद्मा भृंग। Hare Krishna. So I hope all of you are doing well. And this is, we changed the timing to have it on Saturday morning because multiple devotees told me that okay, this is the timing that works well for everyone. So um, today our topic is taking shelter during rough times. Very soon we are this week rather uh, on in US it is Thursday. I don't know in India which day it is, but on Thursday it is the appearance day of Lord Narasimhadev. And Narasimhadev is that incarnation of the Lord Shri Krishna, where he comes in in a form, he appears just to save his devotee, his one devotee, Prahlad. Bhakta Shiromani Prahlad. So Narsimhadev, like, okay, out of his causeless mercy, Lord is showing that it is, he has said in Bhagavad Gita that when does he appear? Does anyone know? Lord has said that whenever there is decline of uh, religion and there is increase of irreligion, at that time he appears millennium after millennium to establish dharma. Anyone remembers this particular verse? No one remembers this? Yes, Lokuman Krishna Prabhu?
Well, Jada Jada hi dharmasya, that slow.
Yes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati
Glani Baba.
bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srajami aham. Shrajami aham. So he's coming there for the protection of his devotees. And the Lord is so kind that okay, it is not that okay, millions have to pray to to get the protection. He is willing to come here to protect. And the Srimad Bhagavatam is full of pastimes of the Lord on how he protects. If you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is not even single person who has not been delivered by Lord, no matter whatever condition they are from. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. It gives us so much like incredible hope that no matter whatever our condition is, Lord will take us back to Godhead. We just have to be, Srila Prabhupada said, just be in the train and you will go back to Godhead. That is, it is as simple as that. And what is, and there is a detailed pastime, and we'll go into the pastime. But many people see it is all about faith on the Lord. So many people, many times, like, okay, we are very much bewildered, like, okay, Arey, that happened such long time back. Does it happen still now? So I want to tell you some pastimes, like, which has recently happened, and um, and how Lord is so reciprocating. If we are if we are sincerely seeking out for the Lord's protection, the Lord is always there for us. There are so many pastimes, but I was thinking, like, okay, one of these pastimes, like, okay, it so happened that in Pune, this is few years back, like, okay, in the last within the last 10 years, there was one, many devotees, like, they go to the temple to do services. So there is one Mataji who was going to the temple, like, okay, one young Mataji, like, okay, she was going to the temple for doing her services. And then it so happened that one day she was returning back late from her seva. And when it was late, um, it was pretty late actually. And at that time, like, okay, she had to pass through uh, some very um, dark and lonely places. So while she was passing through that, two persons began to follow her. And obviously, she could figure out that they did not have good intentions. So she felt very scared from within. And then, like, okay, she kept increasing her speed of walking. And there was no other vehicle also, like nothing, like, okay, no taxi, no auto rickshaw that she could hire. And she kept walking, and she was praying, like, okay, oh my dear Lord, please save me. please please save me. and and as she was walking, what happened is she went ahead and she screamed, Narsimha! As soon as she screamed like this, I mean, the people, they stopped following her and she reached home safely. So she thanked the Lord. and it so happened that okay, she was safe back home. Now the very next day, like 1 or 2 days after that, okay, there was a news article that came out that in the same street that she was in, there were um, there was one lady who was molested and raped in that same place, like, okay, where this lady was passing through, and it happened around the same time that day. It is just like around the same time that this lady passed through. So now, this lady saw the news that okay, oh, I was passing through the same street, and like, okay, there were, and it said that there are two men who are accused and who are arrested for this. So a curiosity came into this Mataji's heart that okay, I was also in there, and like I was in such a danger, and like okay, I just cried out for Narasimhadev, and like okay, those two people who were following me, they did not pass, and someone else is victimized now. Like, okay, what would have happened there? So let me try to find out. So what happened is these two people were arrested. So they was in jail. They were looking for people who would come and tell that okay, yes, these are the same people. Actually, this lady was, whoever was eh, uh, victimized. Like, okay, she was anyway going to identify, but they were, because this news came up. This lady went to see who these people are, and what she finds is when she went to the jail, she saw it were the same people. So then this lady went and asked them, that, okay, I know that, okay, that day you were following me, okay, but then I saw this news article. So you did not, so you went again, you went to some different lady then after that. I want to ask you, what has happened? I mean, on that day, why did you stop following me after at some point of time? So these two persons told this lady, oh, we did not know you had such a strong person. Like, okay, what was that other, what was that other thing that you had? Like, okay, who came to protect you? Like, okay, she said, what was that? She said, these two persons said, like, okay, as soon as you screamed, we saw one l- l- one strange creature, like okay, very huge, and like okay, with face like lion, and the remaining part of the body like a human being, and like okay, very very huge, and with fire coming out of the mouth, and like okay, as soon as they looked at us, like okay, we ran away from there. So we felt so scared, but how did you do that? Now this lady understood what was happening. This lady exactly knew that okay, what had transpired. Like, okay, it was Narsimhadev who appeared, like, okay, to save this lady, because this lady's faith on Narsimhadev was so strong. Okay, Narsimhadev personally appeared to save her, and this is how Lord saves his devotee. Going to another incident. This is an incident that happened in South Africa. So in South Africa, this is see, South Africa is basically like okay, there are, if you see the residents, I happen to live there for a year. So what I saw is there are residents of two types. Like, okay, one is like okay, those who have those who have had were from the native African origin, okay, and those people Europeans who migrated there. So this both type of people who stay there. So there were some native Africans, like okay, who were staying there, like okay, and a family who was staying there. They had a small daughter, like okay, about 4 or 5 years old. So, so this daughter, like okay, right from her childhood, she she would tell that okay, that some, I mean, from where she got this, their parents could never tell that, but she would say that okay, tell something about lion god. Okay. There is a lion god, he's my friend. There is a lion god, he's my friend. So, so one day it so happened that this, like um, South Africa is a place like, okay, not like India. See, in India, like we have a lot of population, so it is very congested. Okay, but in South Africa, uh, things are like, okay, the houses are very, they have more land, and the houses could be small or big, but they have more land in it. Like, okay, so there is some place to play. So the father was working in the patio or balcony in the first floor, and his daughter was playing there downstairs, down on in the land that they have. But they did not have any barricade or something like the 4-year-old daughter playing there. And while playing, her ball just went on the other, like there was a street also. So the ball just went on the other side of the road. So as soon as the girl saw this, she started running towards the ball. She's a small girl. And what happened? The father could see that there is a 18-wheeler truck coming from the other side, and the girl is trying to cross the road. So as soon as the father saw, like, he thought, okay, oh, my daughter is going to get killed now, like, okay, with that. And he called his daughter, but because of the noise of the road, the daughter could not hear anything. She just kept running after the ball. And the father screamed uh, to call his daughter, but it made no effect. And the daughter went, and what the father could see is, like, okay, the the daughter, as soon as she started running, and then she looked here, and then the truck came, and like she got hit by the truck, and she got thrown like, okay, far away into the forest actually. Like she was flung in the sky like, okay, like that, and she landed like somewhere, and she fell there. So the father just immediately got down there. Now imagine like, okay, if a daughter is being thrown away like this, what would be the heart of the father? He went and he found his daughter, and then he took her out from there, and immediately rushed to the hospital. And he told, please, please look at my daughter, like, okay, she is in a very very serious condition. So immediately they her daughter was unconscious, his daughter was unconscious. So immediately like they started getting all the scans, everything done. And after some time they called the father. So the doctor called his father. So what happened to your daughter? He said, okay, she was hit by a truck. So the doctor said, is it okay? How big was the truck? So he said, 18-wheeler. Okay, something doesn't add up here. So he told the nurses, can you do the scan once again? So they did the scan once again. It came back. So doctor said, okay, something is not adding up. You said, like, okay, she was thrown away, everything, but I don't see any damage in her body. Okay, what has happened? So he said, like, no, I saw like she was thrown out like that. That is good actually. Damage has not happened. So they said, like, okay, this is very strange because generally, like, you are saying truck has hit, like, okay, nothing has happened. What happened? Like, okay. So they were very, very shocked what happened. Now, um, they were waiting for the girl to come back to her senses. So when the girl came back to her senses, they said, like, okay, are you okay? She said, yeah, yeah, yeah. That lion god came actually, came to save me. Okay, they said, okay, what happened? What is the story of this lion god? So he said, okay, you know, Papa, I was running behind the ball, and I did not realize there was a big vehicle coming. And when I saw the vehicle, I got so scared and I said, Lion God! And as soon as he screamed out, immediately that lion god was there. And he put me in his lap and he jumped from there. Okay. And we went to the forest, and he he patted me and he left. It was so sweet. Lion god is so sweet. But you know what? There is one problem. This lion god has very big nails. It was hurting me. So when and the girl said, "See, the lion god's nails are still here." And the father and this doctors, they saw the nail marks were still there on the girl. So, and then the doctors, they asked like their forensic experts to do check on this, and they found that, okay, this indeed is a lion's nails actually. So, whatever the girl is telling, like, okay, they could not understand this. So the family tried to find out, like, okay, where is this, what is this land god in Africa? Like, okay, we have not heard about this land god. We do not have any of this in our culture. So they found out, and eventually they could they came they came across the devotees, and then understood that what is, and the girl immediately understood that what, that Narsimhadev, like, okay, that is the lion god who saved me. And the entire family, like, okay, who knew nothing about Narsimhadev, who knew nothing about Krishna, they all became devotees. Hari bol, Shri Narsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. So, so that is Narsimhadev. So now let us go into the pastime of Sri Narsimhadev. See, think about it. Like, this happened, like, in so many years back, and it is said that Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh, they were two sons of um, Diti, wife of Kashyap Muni. Okay, so they were, when they were born, like, okay, right from that time, they were very, very demoniac in nature, extremely strong and demoniac in nature. So Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh. Hiranyaksh was so strong that once what he did is, like, okay, he, see, the demoniac people, our scriptures say that there is a difference between those who are suras and asuras. Sura means, like, okay, demigods, and the simple definition of demigod is those who listen to what is being told, the instructions of Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are called suras. Those who listen to the instructions of Krishna, who are, what are they? They are suras or demigods. And those who do not listen to the instructions of Krishna, they are asuras. Okay, so in Kali Yuga, we don't get asuras who are like, will have big teeth or like that. No, no, no. It is not like that. It is simple. Those who do not listen to the instruction, they are asuras. Those who listen to the instructions, they are suras. So, they, uh, needless to say, the Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, they were asuras, and they were so powerful. What what Hiranyaksh did is, like, okay, I mean, they would be doing so many sinful activities in the planet Earth, and they were so powerful that Hiranyaksh, once what he did is he took the Earth and put it into a, um, like, very, in Pluto, where the water is, like, okay, very, very, uh, what to say, it is like filthy water. So you put the Earth planet in the filth there. Okay, sewage water, what we say. So when Mother Earth was put like this, and Bhumi is actually wife of Krishna. So when she was in this very difficult condition, she cried out, like, okay, oh Lord, please save me. And when she was crying out, then Lord took the form of a wild boar, and as a wild boar, he came out of the nostrils of Lord Brahma. Okay, because Brahma was contemplating, what do we do here? Oh Lord, please save, because Bhumi is praying for you. And as soon as Lord Brahma prayed, a small, very tiny boar came out. And the boar kept on expanding, 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 so much expanded that he became more bigger than the than he passed whatever the uh, uh, like Earth's levels are in, became much, much more bigger. And then that was Lord Varahadev. And once he came out, he he immediately set to the mission to rescue Mother Earth. And with his tusk, boar have tusks. So with his tusk, he lifted Mother Earth. And from the, generally, like, if you see why he took the form of boar is because Srimad Bhagavatam explains in the first canto, third chapter, that generally boar or pigs, they go to very, very, dirty places. So because this was a filthy place, so the Lord took that form to go into that filthy place and lift up. But that does not mean that Lord is filthy. The Lord can take any form, okay, and He has forms. As many number of species are there in the creation, that many number of incarnations Lord has. So, and we just know some of the main incarnations, but there are so many incarnations of which we do not even know actually. And so he came in that form. He rescued Mother Earth, and then placed her back into the position. And while he was doing that, Hiranyaksh got to know, and he started challenging the Lord with all this, with all his terrible verbages. When he was trying to do that, the Lord did not heed any of the things. He was just focused on taking care of Mother Earth and putting him. This is one important thing to know, because what Lord always does is his first focus is to save his devotees. He can take care of the demons at any point of time, but his first thing is he always is most protective to his devotees. So he did this, and then Hiranyaksha came to attack Lord, and as he came to attack Lord, he tried few things, okay, to just beat the Lord, and Varahadev was not at all affected. But then, okay, once Varahadev hit him, then Hiranyaksha was finished, and he died there. And as he died, okay, Hiranyakashipu, when he learned that, he understood that he has lost his brother, and he took a vow there. I am going to kill this Vishnu who has taken this form of uh, boar. Okay, and I am going to kill that Vishnu. He's my enemy. And then he, in order to kill Vishnu, what he did is he did a very serious tapasya, extremely serious tapasya. And he thought that, okay, whom can I do tapasya, whom can I ask for benedictions? So he thought like, okay, Brahma is the creator. Anyway, if I pray to Brahma, then he can give me something like, okay, with which he can give me a boon with which I can kill Vishnu. He he stood on one leg, like this, hands like this, and then he started doing he uh, started praying to Lord Brahma, Om Brahma Namah, and he was constantly chanting. And as he was doing that, in course of time, like what happened is his body's all the flesh that you see, it went away. Only he was only a skeleton, and wherever he was standing, he was doing this meditation for 60,000 years. And as he kept doing that, his surroundings got changed, and it was changed into an ant hill. He was inside the ant hill, and he was constantly chanting. And after 60,000 years, Lord Brahma, he came, and he took the water out of his kamandalu and he put on him. And as soon as Lord Brahma poured the water on him, Hiranyakashipu got back all his body back, and this time with like a very strong, with extremely strong body. He was like like an iron shield. He became. And then Brahma asked him that, okay, my dear child, I am very pleased with you. What is it that you want? Why are you calling out for me? Then Hiranyakashipu, now seeing that this is the opportunity to ask, he said that, okay, yes, yes, I am looking for, please bless me so that I can become immortal. That means no one can kill me. I, I will never die. And then Lord Brahma said that, okay, I am personally, you know what? I am also not immortal. So I cannot give you that boon to be immortal. That is something that only Vishnu can give. Um, so then Hiranyakashipu is very smart. Sometimes we think like we are very smart. We have a way to maneuver things. So Hiranyakashipu said that, okay, okay, if you can't give that, then just allow me to die in a way that I want. And what is that way? Um, uh, that, or rather give me this spoon, that okay, that where I will not be killed by these things. So that way, okay, I can choose that, okay, how I will want to be killed. So he had everything planned out. Like he said, okay, give me a boon so that no demigods or no um, I will not be killed by any demigods, and no um, uh, no human beings, no animals, and no, not by astra or shastra. That means by no weapons can I be killed. I will not be killed during daytime. I will not be killed during nighttime. I will not be uh, like with all this, right? Okay, he had like okay, so many clauses. If you look at those clauses, based on that, it would someone may think that okay, he will never be killed. And Brahma, what he did is he said, okay, okay, that is you are asking for quite a bit, okay, but still, tathastu, he gave him that boon, that okay, whatever you've asked for, so let it be. And then Brahma left, and Hiranyakashipu, he thought that okay, wow, that means no one can kill me, and I am now undefeatable. I am now, I have now become God. And he started doing his terrible tyrannical activities across the globe. He started stopping worship of he started stopping worship of any like for sure like, okay, of Vishnu, but of any demigod, and he started proclaiming that he is the God. Worship me, I am the God. So this is another thing we can learn from here. The many times like okay, if we are trying to be controller, or if we may come across many people who want to be controller means like we are trying to be God. We are trying to um, be not godly, but we are trying to be a replacement of God. and and with this he started all fire sacrifices which were being done, all all the worships that were being done. He stopped everything, and all worship were being done for this demon Hiranyakashipu across the globe. It was, and people who would try to do any worship, they were tortured. In general also people were tortured, and it was a terrible condition. And this Hiranyakashipu, his wife Kayadu, gave birth to a child, and they named him. And actually, it so happened that when Hiranyakashipu was had gone for his tapasya, at that time, like, okay, his wife was pregnant with this boy, and Indra got to know that this Hiranyakashipu demon, he is now doing tapasya. No, we have no idea what kind of power he will get after this, because he's anyway a demon. But he will be, if he has another child who will be another demon, then we have to take care of him also. So it will be so painful. So instead of that, let us eliminate this child while he is in the mother's womb. So Indra came to kidnap Kayadu, and as he was kidnapping Kayadu, and he had plans to kill that child, at that time Shripad Narad Muni came, and he said, okay, what are you doing, Indra? So Indra told the plan that okay, see, actually, this is Hiranyakashipu's wife. She is pregnant with a child. If this child comes out, then in that case, like, okay, he will be another demon. It will be so much. Anyways, father is a problem for the world. Now his son also will be a problem. So I had plans to kill this child. So Narad Muni said, no, no, don't do that, because this child who will be born, it would be a great devotee of the Lord. Just leave him. And plus, it does not befit you to kill, to basically harm a pregnant woman. As soon as Indra heard this instruction from Narad, Indra accepted that. He paid obeisances to Narad Muni, and then he left from there. This is, we can see, like if there is any sura or anyone who obeys Lord and his devotees, then although it may be different from what he was thinking, but he accepted it and he went away. He had faith in Sripad Narad Muni's words. So, so Narad Muni left, and then Indra left, and then Narad Muni took Kayadu, Hiranyakashipu's wife, to his ashram, and um, he he would personally. Kayadu was very fortunate to get Narad Muni's association, and when by the association of Sripad Narad Muni, um, till his husband was till Hiranyakashipu was back. Um, Hiranyakashipu, once he came back, Narad Muni came to uh, drop Kaidu and his son, who was named Prahlad. So the son was very small at the time, but in the mother's womb, this child had heard whatever Narad Muni said. So he, whatever the regular Harikatha that Narad Muni would say, Kayadu would hear, and through from the womb of Kayadu, this Prahlad heard. So when Hiranyakashipu came back, like, okay, as Prahlad grew a little bit, Hiranyakashipu loved Prahlad. But Prahlad was very, very dear to Hiranyakashipu. Very sweet child, very wonderful, beautiful looking child. Very like just as a father would love. And Hiranyakashipu had intense affection for Prahlad. So when the right when his schooling age came, at that time Prahlad was sent to the school of demons to learn demoniac knowledge. And once he came back, in between, like, okay, so after some time, at that time Hiranyakashipu asked, so my dear son, how is your school and what are you learning there? And then Prahlad started sharing, like, okay, that his his learnings are that from childhood onwards one should immediately take on to Krishna consciousness. And he was telling in this verses, and as soon as Hiranyakashipu heard, he said, okay, where are you learning all these things from? Krishna consciousness, because he considered Vishnu as his greatest enemy. So, and and he looked at the teachers, and the teachers said, no, no, we did not teach him all these things. Okay, but please, Hiranyakashipu said, okay, make sure that, okay, next time you bring him, you train him well in our demoniac culture. So Prahlad was taken again back, and then the teachers tried everything. They gave special private coaching to Prahlad, and this time they were expecting that, okay, he would come, he would be able to perform better when Hiranyakashipu asked him. So when he was brought back to his father, at that time Hiranyakashipu again asked him questions, and again, like, okay, Prahlad responded that, see, one who is too much engrossed in sense gratification, at at for that person, the determined devotion, the determined ability to perform devotion never arises in his heart. So one who is very much attached to sense gratification, that person will never be able to be determined in doing devotional service. O King of demons, O Supreme Leader on from the demons, I want to tell you that this is what I've learned. As soon as the father heard this thing, he was like wild. Okay, where is he learning all these things? And he charged back at the teachers, like, okay, what nonsense is this guy talking about? So, then the teacher said that, okay, actually, you know what, we are teaching him all these things, but he never he is not affected with what we are teaching him. In fact, he does his own teachings to the other boys. He is doing his own preaching there. So Hiranyakashipu, if you see, he had he loved Prahlad, But the thing is, he could not tolerate that the whole world teacher, the whole world thought him to be God, but his only child did not think him to be God. This was a problem. And Hiranyakashipu's background was like, okay, when he would even move his eyebrows, right? All the demigods will shiver. Okay, he would say, like, okay, it is very sunny. Change the temperature. I need it to be cold right now. So we know in room, if we have to put on our AC from 78 degree, if we have to bring it to 65, it takes some time, right? And here, Hiranyakashipu is ordering the demigods, come on, I need the temperature change. This I need like okay, it is very hot, make it cold. It is very cold, make it hot. So he was going against the natural laws, and the demigods will do anything and everything. Not only demigods, anyone and everyone that he tells, they were ready to do. And demigods, like who are very much powerful, they all became his servants actually. They would all bow down to Hiranyakashipu. He was so powerful, and that incredibly powerful Hiranyakashipu could not take it that okay, this 5-year-old child, this child is not listening to him. So this is what the nature of demon is. The nature of demon is like no matter everything would be going fine, okay, but they see a slightest fault, okay, everything, someone will be doing all everything well, but one fault they see and they'll pick on that fault only. It's like I have I have heard this from His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. He tells that what he has heard, what he has learned from his spiritual master is that one should always be a nectar picker. One should always see the good in others. Okay, one who does not see good in others, right, but tries to focus on the faults is more like a stool picker. They'll pick stool. So which one do we want to be? We want to be nectar picker or we want to be stool picker? We that is that choice is ours. But once if we find if the s- a real genuine devotee or a saintly person is one who, even if there is only one slight goodness, right, they will try to focus on that goodness and they will try to fan, they will see a spark of that goodness and they will want to spark that fan, okay, so that that fan, by sparking, by fanning that spark, it becomes a fire actually. So so like that, Hiranyakashipu was very, he was extremely angry, and he said like, okay, you guys are not doing it. So after trying it couple of times, like, okay, Hiranyakashipu decided that okay, this son is going to be a great threat for me. He's just a 5-year-old son, but Hiranyakashipu sees it as a threat because he sees that okay, if this son is not following me, it'll pass a, it will definitely, um, it is such a great insult. I cannot take it. So I have to eliminate this son. He's just this Vishnu's some, he will become a spy of Vishnu. So thinking all this, he decided, let me go ahead and kill this son. And after that, he thought that okay, fine. What? How can I kill this? Firstly, he thought, okay, let me throw him out from a mountain. So he tried throwing him off from the mountain, but when Prahlad, that small child Prahlad, was being thrown, at that time Prahlad said, "Okay, oh Krishna, whatever is your desire. If your desire is that I die, then let that happen. If you want me to live, then let that happen. Whatever is your desire is fine with me." And at the end, like okay, Krishna held him, and he was saved. So the soldiers who threw him, they were very surprised. Okay, this guy got saved from here. So next thing they tried is he was put into the chamber where all the poisonous serpents are kept. But anyway, Prahlad was unimpacted over there because he was constantly praying that, oh Krishna, whatever is your desire is fine with me. So he was saved. He was Hiranyakashipu tried to drown him in the ocean, that small child, but there also he was saved. He tried to kill him in so many ways, like okay, he tried to put him under the feet of an elephant so that he gets crushed, but he was saved there. Hiranyakashipu's sister Holika had a boon. She had one shawl that was given by Lord Shiva himself as a boon, that okay, when she uses this, when she keeps her covered with this shawl, even if she is in the fire, she would never be burnt. But never to, but this shawl is not to be misused. So Hiranyakashipu, knowing that his sister has this shawl, she she asked her that okay, why don't you do one thing? Why don't you enter into fire with Prahlad, and that way you can you can try, you can ensure that okay, he's killed. Just hold on to him. So Holika did what her brother had asked. She entered into fire with Prahlad, into heaps of wood. On top of that, fire is burning. Holika was sitting with herself covered in this shawl. But Prahlad was outside of the shawl, and Prahlad was praying, "Oh Krishna, whatever is your desire, may that happen. I am okay with whatever you want, Krishna, for your pleasure. Um, everything is fine with me." And then, as Prahlad prayed, Krishna Krishna protected him, and Holika, whose shawl was there, Lord Shiva got very displeased with her because she's using it against the great devotee. And Lord thought, Lord Shiva understood that okay, this is my Lord's devotee. It is of great importance for me to take away that boon which I have given to that rascal lady Holika. And so um, that Holika started burning within that within uh, uh, within that firewood. And so even in today's day also, like, okay, um, before the day of Holi, we s- have this burning of this fire, and it is called Holika Dahan, which means that okay, it resembles that same thing, like okay, where Holika is being burned. After this, Hiranyakashipu tried several other ways of killing Prahlad, and finally he thought that okay, let me do one thing, because none of these ways is getting killed. Let me get the best of the poison of the serpents, and that poison he asked Kayadu to give it to her son. It was very difficult as a mother to give it to her son, but Kayadu was a chaste lady. Hiranyakashipu pushed her to give it to his son. And when Kaidu was really crying, and he said, "Oh Prahlad, I am doing a very, very sinful activity. I am giving you this poison of the serpents. So, which your father has asked me to give it to you." And Prahlad said, "Oh mother, how can anything from your hands be poison? If Vishnu wants me to be killed with this, then let that happen. And if he wants to protect me, then nothing will happen with this poison." And Prahlad prayed to Krishna, and as soon as he had it, he was nothing happened to him. And Hiranyakashipu was watching all this from right behind the pillar. That okay, he saw that okay, Prahlad took everything. He was like, he was becoming wild. He was thinking like, how is this guy, nothing is happening to him when he is drinking the poison. So with all this, all his attempts getting failed, he decided that okay, it I have to take things into my hand. I have to kill this guy somehow or other. I have to do it myself. And what he did, he went ahead and thought that okay, now is the time. I have to kill this Prahlad on my own. And he called him like okay, let let that guy be called. And when he came to his assembly, at that time Hiranyakashipu asked him that okay, where exactly are you getting your power from? So Prahlad said, I am getting this power from the same place that you are getting the power from. The source of our power is the same. It is from Krishna. So now we have to understand that okay, we are all very, very, we may think that okay, we are doing great things, but we are all very, very tiny, minuscule, insignificant living entities. And if we think that okay, that if we are doing whatever we are doing, like okay, we have done all this house and this and that and whatnot, like, okay, on our own, then we are just nothing. When we connect to the powerhouse Krishna, we can see a bulb. If we see the bulb is giving light, if we think that this bulb is great, we have to understand that the light is coming because it is connected to that powerhouse. Once it is disconnected from the electricity, that bulb is of no value. It will not give any light. So whatever, so Prahlad was trying to explain the same thing to Hiranyakashipu that okay, I'm getting it from the same source where you are getting it. We are getting it from Krishna. And Hiranyakashipu was mad at it. Where is your Krishna? So he said, Prahlad said, he is everywhere. Okay, if he is everywhere, is he is he there? And he looked and he said, is he there in this tower? And Prahlad said, yes, he is there in this tower also. My Lord is there everywhere. Okay, Prahlad, I am going to hit here. If your Lord is not here, right, then I am going to kill you. So Hiranyakashipu went ahead and he went to hit this tower actually. I mean that not tower, but I'm saying tower, but it's a pillar. He went to hit this pillar, and as soon as he went to hit this pillar, there was a wild roar, thunderous sound that came out of this. And as soon as there was a thunderous sound, like okay, Hiranyakashipu got scared. What is happening? Like okay, he has now never heard this kind of sound coming out. And as soon as that sound came out, there came out like okay, with a thunderous jolt, a gigantic figure with lion-like upper part, and the remaining part was like a human being. And Hiranyakashipu was surprised. What is this? What am I seeing? That was Lord Narasimhadev. Shishi Narasimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. So this personality, as soon as he came out, Hiranyakashipu was bewildered. That okay, I have never seen. Like, okay, what is this? And then he thought like okay, anyway, but I am so powerful. Why do I need to really worry about it? And Hiranyakashipu jumped and flung, and okay, he was trying to hit this personality Narsimadev. And as he was going, like Narsimadev just was doing like this. He was just moving him away, and then Hiranyakashipu will get flung here and there, like okay. And as this was happening, Hiranyakashipu was thinking, like, okay, what is happening? It is said in the as we pray to Narsingadev, we sing this. तव कर कमल वरे नखाम अद्भुत श्रृंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनु भृंगा, like a bhringa, like a honeybee, like a wasp. This Hiranyakashipu was just like a small wasp, like tick, tick, tick. And Nrsimhadev was just throwing him away like this. And this, and as Hiranyakashipu decided that okay, now it's time, I have to kill this guy. Okay, he gathered all his strength and he went to hit. He was trying everything, but and nothing was working. After quite a number of attempts, okay, when Hiranyakashipu hit, Nrsimhadev just moved like this, and Hiranyakashipu smiled. Like he thought, like, okay, oh, I am winning. And when he went to hit him next time, then just Nrsimhadev just got hold of him and dragged him over. He hit him, and he kept dragging him, and he dragged him to the place which is the entrance to the palace. Okay, it is, and and at that time, Nrsimhadev told, just look at outside, Hiranyakashipu. You had asked Brahma for the boon that you will neither be killed in daytime nor in night time. This is the Godhuli Lagna. This is the transition time, which is between the day and night. This is the time that when the sun is about to set. It is neither day, it is neither night. And you are neither being killed outside or inside. You are in the center, you are in the entrance of the house. You are neither being killed by any weapons, uh, but I am going to rip you off using my nails. And you are neither being killed in the land or in the sky, but I'll just place you in my legs. You will be somewhere in between. And with all the conditions that Hiranyakashipu had put in to Lord Brahma, the expert of the expert, Shri Krishna, who appeared as Sri Narasimhadev, like he met all the conditions. He said all of them that okay, see all the conditions that you have asked for, they are all being met, and you will now be ripped off. And saying this, Narasimhadev ripped off Hiranyakashipu's chest, and from there he took off his intestine and he put it on his neck. That okay, that was the garland that Narsingadev wore just to save and protect his dear devotee, Shri Prahlad. Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashak Lakshmi Nrsingadev Bhagwan ki jai. So that Nrsingadev who appeared um, just for Prahlad, like as soon as Nrsingadev killed um, Hiranyakashipu, all the demigods started to shower flowers on Nrsimhadev, but Nrsimhadev was in an extremely fiery mood. He was he was roaring like anything, and he was even though Prahlad, even though Hiranyakashipu was killed, Nrsimhadev was still roaring. He was terribly angry, and all Lord Brahma came, but he was very scared. He called Lord Shiva also. Lord Shiva said, okay, I also can't go. I have not seen Lord in this kind of mood. They said, Mother Lakshmi, okay, you go, Mother. Like Mother Lakshmi said, okay, I have not seen my Prabhu in this kind of form. Okay, I am very, very scared. Then whom to send? Then ultimately Lord Brahma said, Prahlad, see Narsimhadev came for you. You only go there. So Prahlad said, like, okay, when all of you are, if you all are not going, then what is my qualification? Then said on insistence from Lord Brahma, Prahlad said, okay, as your servant, I will go there. And, and what Prahlad did is this 5-year boy, he came and offered flat Dandavat Pranam at the lotus feet of Narsimhadev. Seeing this, as Narsimhadev, who is huge structure, he saw Prahlad, and as he saw Prahlad playing Dandavat Pranam, his heart melted, and he his temper came down. In Srimad Bhagavatam, if you search for the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam from the 12th canto, it says the glories of two things. One is the glories of Harinam Sankirtan, which cleanses our heart, and the glories of paying obeisances, paying pranam. Anything, like, okay, anytime, like, okay, when we pay our obeisances to Lord Shri Krishna, what happens is all the miseries from our heart goes away. And if we are in any miserable condition, only and only if we pay Dandavat Pranam to Supreme Lord, just by doing that, all the miseries from our heart are gone actually. We can share with the Lord. You can read that particular verse actually. It is very, very beautiful. So Lord is so merciful that and if we pay our obeisances with a sincere heart, then see like how Shri Shri Prahlad Maharaj, like just by paying obeisances, he he brought down the temper of Sri Narasimhadev, which no one else was able to do. And Lord Nrsimhadev just put him on his lap. He started licking him, and Prahlad felt like, okay, so much love from Nrsimhadev coming. And Nrsimhadev at that time asked Prahlad that, Prahlad, you should ask me for a boon. And Prahlad said, like, oh Lord, what is the use of me asking you for a boon? If I ask you for a boon, it will just be like I am trying to do business with you. I don't need anything from you. I just want to love you and I just want to serve you. So, so Prahlad Maharaj is teaching such high principles. If Lord is in front of us, someone will say, "Oh, okay, Lord, you are now asking me to okay, give me this nice house or give me uh, nice children or whatever." Okay, but Prahlad Maharaj did not ask them. So Narsingadev insisted him that, okay, no, I think you should still ask me for a boon. I want you to ask. I want to give you something. And at that time, Prahlad Maharaj asked that, okay, oh Lord, if you really want to give me something, then please deliver my father, like who is a demoniac person, but please deliver him. um, so Narsimhadev said, like, Prahlad, you need not even ask for that. For such a pure devotee like you, when you are such a pure devotee, what to speak about your father? Your father has already gone back to the spiritual world, but 21 generations, 10 up and 10 down, they will all get opportunities to go back to the spiritual world. So this is the power of bhakti. Like there are people like who are thinking that okay, how will they get liberated and all that. But the power of bhakti is so much like it is not just one person but 21 generations, 10 up 10 down. Okay, most people, most of us like okay, when we come to bhakti like okay, what to talk about ourselves like okay, no one in our past or no one in our future like they are able to appreciate what it is. So, but if we are sincere, if we become pure devotees, then in that case, 21 generations are affected. And what to speak about any other person that we come in contact with? We can see that like, okay, in the world. Like, so many, the pure devotees that we see, our Guru Varga, they are delivering people by millions. Brahmanda, uh, 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 Brahmanda Tarite Dhare Shakti Jane Jane. One person has the ability to deliver the universe. When Mahaprabhu came, at that time he could have done this on his own, but he did not do it because he wanted to keep this as service. I was hearing yesterday from my spiritual master, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He was saying that okay, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, when he sent the book Precepts um, um, and Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, that was a book that Srila Prabhupada um, he found that in Montreal. Actually, I was hearing, in fact, I was hearing from Her Grace Shama Karunamai Mataji from the book Milwaukee to Mayapur. Yes, I can see she's here. So there actually, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he had, uh, he had, Srila Prabhupada is saying that, okay, actually Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying that, okay, he could have actually gone ahead and made the whole world Krishna consciousness because he's a Vaishnava. He had that potency. But why did not do? Because he wanted to give the credit to others. So similarly, Mahaprabhu wanted to give the credit to others. So that is why it was passed on. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to give the credit to our uh, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and our Srila Prabhupada. So when Srila Prabhupada alone, see like alone one person only at the age of 70 he set out and alone that person itself like set 108 temples, so many disciples, so many fan followers, and for last what now 60 plus years there is so much increase that is happening because Mahaprabhu has said this that পৃথিবীতে আছে যত নগরাদি গ্রাম সর্বত্র হইবে মোরা নাম প্রচার সর্বত্র হইবে means everywhere in the entire globe my name will be spread, this name will be chanted, and as you can see it is growing at such a fast pace. How is this happening? Because Lord's potency is there. So we all like, right? Like, okay, see, I mean, in the material world, when there is a project, right? Um, when the cake cutting ceremony of the project comes, everyone wants to be there, right? Sometimes some people may have not worked on it also, but they still want to be part of the cake cutting ceremony. So in this case, but in the material world, what happens is the project may be successful or it may not be successful. In this case, in Krishna consciousness, it is given that the cake will be cut. It is up to us whether we want to participate in the cake cutting ceremony or not. So if we just participate in Krishna consciousness, just we have to do our part actually, and that's it. And Srila Prabhupada was asked this question, Srila Prabhupada, what is the best way we can please you? And Srila Prabhupada, I was hearing this from my spiritual master this morning, and he was saying that Srila Prabhupada said that, okay, um, if we if you just try to accept whatever I've come to give with wholeheartedly, you accept it, and then you just go ahead and when you accept it, go ahead and distribute it with others. That's it. By doing this will please Srila Prabhupada. So Dev Bhagwan ki jai. um, I know like most of you may know that we have started this initiative on Akshay Tritiya. It's, a, it's by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, by blessings of our spiritual masters, by blessings of the most auspicious day of Akshay Tritiya, by blessings of His Grace Dinupavan Gauranga Prabhu. what we did is like, okay, we are having a WhatsApp community where we are having books, Srila Prabhupada books, and the books of the biographies of Srila Prabhupada's bona fide disciples and Srila Prabhupada's own biographies being read. Anyone can join, like, okay, to hear what is being read, and if you want, you can contribute by um, reading a book. It is up to you. If you have time to read, great. It requires only 5 to 10 minutes commitment. Even less than 5 minutes is also fine. 2 3 minutes is also fine. So that much commitment is required. If that doesn't work out, that's perfectly fine. Just hearing itself is great, because when we hear this spiritual talks, it is very very important that daily we are hearing. And if we are hearing on a subject, like, okay, which is where we are able to relate to, then what happens through that, our life gets transformed. Why these biographies are being read? Because it will take us, I was hearing it from my spiritual master, even Srila Prabhupada has said that it will take us lifetimes after lifetimes to understand the teachings from our scriptures. Okay, we will understand it, but like, okay, we may not have an example, like, okay, how to lead this. But when we study the life of great devotees like Srila Prabhupada, like His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, like His Holiness Radhanath Swami Guru Maharaj, then what happens is, by studying their life, and even other spiritual masters also. So when we hear and like, okay, when we study their life, right, what will happen is, whatever we are learning, that in the classes, like, okay, whatever the message of Bhagavad Gita that we are learning, right, it will become very clear how these personalities, how these great great personalities have lived their life leading by those principles, that will allow us to follow in their footsteps. Because, see, just having, we know, right, in the school we have theory and we have practical. So it is easy to have uh, theoretical knowledge, but if we do not have practical knowledge, then what will happen? It will not be of much use. In If we always take this example of doctor, right? If someone goes to and understands that, okay, oh, yes, I will do the surgery. If we want to get a surgery of kidney done, they say, look, it'll charge you $2,000. Some other guy comes and says, okay, I will do it in $100. We'll be, oh, you can do it $100, that 2,000. What is your qualification? We'll say, I have studied whatever, I have studied the medical science correspondence course, and he has studied in correspondence. He has not even attended a college. Like, okay, then we will not go to that particular. Or if someone says, okay, I have attended the theoretical classes, I I did all that, but that will not give us confidence. We need someone who is tried and tested, who had that application knowledge, who has actually done some things, right? Otherwise, we are not going to get the surgery done from them. So, like that, we all need that practical knowledge. And how do we get that practical knowledge? We get that practical knowledge when we understand, when we study the life of great devotees. And especially, see, we can study the great devotees from Srimad Bhagavatam, and we should study that. And what when we study the examples from Srimad Bhagavatam, along with that, when we study the life of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Varga, what will happen is, because this our Guru Varga and Srila Prabhupada has appeared in the very near past, all whatever we hear in their life, right, will be very relatable to us, because we may not be in forest. Okay, sometimes the principles that are there in Bhagavatam is exceptional principles, but we may not be able to relate. Okay, how do I do this? But when we hear the life of, like, okay, Srila Prabhupada and his guru and his disciples, right, then we can very closely relate, because this is happening just in last 50 years or 30 years or 20 years, right? So it becomes very very relatable. So I honestly, I encourage all of you to take part in this. Okay, you, all you have to do is hear, and just just regularly hear. I am personally being so much benefited, like, okay, for all those who are participating in this. And I can see the difference actually, because uh, for seeing the difference, it doesn't need to be someone else has to show it. We can see the difference in our own consciousness. Okay, we can see what we were today versus what we are 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, 6 months down the line. Okay, we could be a silo reader in our home, but when we are trying to do this as a group activity, we can understand the mercy of the Guru Parampara that is flowing through them. So each of you are very, very empowered personalities. Each of you are very special in your own ways. We don't have to compare with others. See, by doing comparison with others, all we do is we give frustration to our own self. But if we try to be the best example within ourselves, think about it. If we are just thinking about Krishna at all the times, we may be at home just trying to cook for Krishna. We are being a menial servant of Krishna trying to cook something. What exactly can we give to Krishna? But whatever we are trying to give with love, Krishna is willing to accept it. If we are trying to clean our home, we are just trying to serve Krishna by being a menial servant. If we are just trying to go to our do our studies, we are trying to study for Krishna, because the whatever knowledge that we acquire, we want to use that knowledge in Krishna's service. If we are earning for Krishna so that we can serve Krishna. And just in every aspect of our life, we should just try to connect, like, okay, how is this thing going to please Krishna? If we just try to put our thought in this direction, the world will be a very, very diff it will give us a very different perspective of understanding that world. So that way we don't have to we can when we understand the world from Krishna's perspective, trying to see that, okay, how Krishna is orchestrating everything within this world, then it will be very, very different place. And having said that, I want to share. We started with the Narasimhadev pastime. I went to this initiative that we talked about, and I would like to end with another pastime, but I want to seek all of your permission. Is that still okay if I go another for another 7 minutes? Okay. Uh, so this is, I want to see, like, um, we are really hoping for Krishna's mercy in our life. And I want to share one personal example, okay, where it is, I was in a, this happened, like, okay, about 11 years back or 12 years back. I was very new in this path of bhakti. And during that time, like, okay, we had just moved into a new house from a rented place. And somehow, when I had when I had moved out of the rented house, the owner of uh, the owner of that rented place, which I had rented rather, the uh, uh, that person somehow, with all uh, somehow manipulated, and he took away my deposit amount. So and that was quite a big amount actually, to be very honest. So on one hand, I was moving into a new house, and he had taken away all my deposit amount. So, and he told that, okay, when I was moving out, my daughter is also here. So in that particular house, my daughter was at that time um, 5 years old. So she had this habit of putting stickers on the wall. So there was one wall where she put lot of stickers, and the owner of the house told me that this, you have really spoiled all the walls of our house, so we are withholding all your deposit, and you will get just a menial, very small amount of that. Then I said, okay, you can deduct some amount for that wall, but the deposit that you are keeping is like quite a bit actually. So they said, no, no, that is what you have to pay. And then I just said, happened to say this, like, okay, I mean, we had three, four discussions, and I was just trying to be as polite as possible. But then sometimes, our the worst of some conditions bring the worst in us. So it was not in a bad tone, but I just said that, okay, if you want to do this, then I have to tell you that, okay, it's a very hard-earned money. Okay, I have to go to the court, and this person, he works in the government office in US. And at that time, I was a visa holder. So he threatened me. If you are going to the um, court, then please make sure. I mean, then in that case, we want to tell you that, okay, it could really affect your staying in this particular country. Basically, in other words, he was threatening. I was being threatened that, okay, that uh, it could be difficult for you to survive in this particular country. So I said, okay, I just know this, that, okay, whatever I'm asking for is not something that, okay, which is not valid. Okay, I'm asking for something which is legitimate. And it, it stopped. And I was thinking, okay, now after I kept the phone, I thought that, okay, I told him about code, but I don't know anything about code. Now what to do? So having thought about this, I started reading some of these court materials, like, okay, what happens in this case, landlord and this, and then I understood that, okay, we can file cases, and generally, like in a small court, it is like you file a case, and there are multiple levels of court, but generally, such kind of cases can be handled in small court where two persons come together, they explain their case, and that's it. Like the court settles, look at they can decide. Worst case scenario, what was, I thought that, okay, I had nothing to lose. Let me go ahead and go ahead with this particular case, and which should be fine. Okay. So having said that, I progressed forward, and I went ahead and filed a case. So as soon as I filed a case, what this what this person did, the owner of the house, the previous where I was rented, he went ahead and hired a lawyer. And what the lawyer did is he sent me a separate letter that, okay, whether you lose this case or you win this case, you have to pay a $10,000 uh, for this, because if you look at the your lease agreement, then in that case it says that there's a 10,000. If the case goes into court, then the tenant has to pay $10,000. And now the amount that I was fighting was not even $10,000. I was like, okay, this is another painful thing that has come on. How am I going to do this? And I just really prayed that, Krishna, all I know is, like, I'm just, this is your money. It's not even my money. So your money is at stake. And somehow continued with that. And and it and every time I would go to the court, I would face them. The lawyer would face me, and I would not even know the legal terms. I would not even be able to talk one sentence in the court. Okay, and the judge would tell me every time that, okay, that you are doing a great mistake. You have just you should hire a lawyer. And I would tell the same thing to the judge every time. I would say that, okay, that all my money has been taken over by them. I cannot hire a lawyer. They are hiring the lawyer with my money. So it just continued, and then generally here there is a thing like, okay, there is a stage where for this kind of small cases, it's not a criminal case. So for this kind of small cases, uh, you can share, like, okay, what are the evidences you have. So I was called to share my evidences. So I took all my evidences and I shared with them. And they said, okay, can we keep this? I said, yeah, you can keep it. So I gave them everything. And every time, what I would do in the case is, like, whatever they would ask me to do, right? Okay, they said, okay, share your evidences. So next time I would ask them, okay, why don't you also share that evidences? I would send them a notice for that because I did not know what the next steps are. So I called them for sharing their evidences. Now they had a lawyer, so the lawyer had their office, and they could they could do this, but I did not have an office. So I had to hire an office, I had to hire a transcriptor and all those things. So it was a different, very, very terrible situation. So I was losing money at every point. So uh, at the end of this, like, okay, I saw that they brought all fake evidences, that the damages that they were showing is something which was not even related to the house. Then I said, can I keep these evidences? Then they said, you never requested us. I said, but I gave yours mine. They said, you did not stop us, but you can't keep ours. They took away all their evidences and went away. I thought, this is so foolish of me. I do not even know how to fight the case, and like I am in this middle of this. So I was really in a very, very bewildered state. And I was thinking what to do in this case. And somehow at that time, like I shared my heart with one devotee, and that devotee said, like, okay, if you are fighting for dharma, then dharma will protect you. So it does not matter, like, okay, what you are going through. But Prabhu, you do one thing. When the day for that court case arises, at that time you go to the courtroom a little bit early, and if that courtroom is empty, then you go and do Narshing Aarti there loudly. So I thought that, okay, that is my only saving grace. Oh, Narshing Dev, please save me. So I don't think like okay, I will be able to do anything. So few days before the actual court case was supposed to happen, means the final case was supposed to happen, I was praying to my spiritual master, and it was a day of Ekadashi, I still remember. So, and I was just literally praying to my spiritual master that, okay, that Mahaprabhu has, at that time, I did not know all these things that, okay, this na dhanam, na janam, sundarim. Okay, I knew nothing of this, but all I knew is, like, okay, oh, my dear Guru Maharaj, like, okay, my condition is such that I am always tensed about this court case. I'm not able to think anything outside of this. And I was just, it is at such a bad timing that I decided that okay to fight this court case, and now I'm completely involved with this court case. When I chant, I am not able to think of Krishna. It's such a terrible state I have reached. How do I get out of this? I have no idea. Please give me some clue. How do I get this? And as I was praying, like okay, I was sitting next to my laptop, and like okay, in those days, like okay, when I would chant, like okay, I would just take some inspiring quote or something. So I just put on something there, and I just clicked something. So it was, I did not even type anything, I didn't click anything, but somehow, since I was opening this code, all these code pages to learn all this, how to do this, so some new page came up. It was related to this landlord tenant cases, and there was a scenario, something that came up which I had never read earlier. And as I read this, a new clause came to my mind that okay, I mean, I understood there is a clause which, based on which I understood that the owner um, cannot charge me that amount, and whatever they are asking me, their case is completely defeated. So I thought, how is it that I have never studied this? I studied all the sections, but this page only I did not study. How is it possible? Then I just thank my spiritual master and I thank Krishna that okay, oh, I got something new thing to study. But that same thing, whatever I found, a couple of friends who knew about my case, I sent them. Can you read this? Are you getting the same understanding, or am I reading something different? So they said, no, no, whatever you said was right. So with this, I went to the court case, and that day I intensely went ahead. I went quite a quite some time early, and the room was empty. It was, I had never been to a courtroom earlier, but this was a soundproof room. Only I was alone, and with the loudest voice, I did the Narshing Aarti. Okay, and after that, when the court started, when the judge came, the judge said that okay, this was his first statement. I still remember. He said, like, okay, I'm going to be very strict about it. So if any of you want to right now, if you want to make a settlement, you can make it right now, and otherwise I'm going to be very strict about it. So I thought it was for me. I looked at the other part. Do you want to make a settlement? We can still do it now. And they were not at all interested. They thought, okay, this guy is completely, he'll be losing everything. And when the case started, when I started presenting my stuffs, uh, then I felt lot of, I was initially in a lot of anxiety, but I felt a lot of calmness in me. And somehow I could feel that, okay, it was Lord who was orchestrating everything. uh, Narsimhadev was right there. And now the the interesting part that happened is after I'm done presenting my case, it was their turn to present. So they had their lawyers like, okay, come about, tell like, okay, that okay, this whatever he is saying is right. But the judge wanted to hear me out first, and then they started. Now, since my childhood, I have never been in a situation where I've debated with anyone and I've won a debate. Never been in any discussion like where I have really argued with anyone and I have come out victorious in any argument. But that day in the court case, when they were presenting these things, like, okay, I was presenting some arguments which I was thinking like as those things were coming out of they were coming out of my mouth, but after they came out, I thought like, "Arey, this is a good argument that came out. How did I speak this?" I felt like okay, after every argument, I felt like okay, I should clap at this argument. I could I knew that okay, this was nourishing, they were orchestrating everything. And eventually, like at the end of first day, the the judge said that this has to happen. We want to do this, continue this case tomorrow also. So if you want to settle right now, you can do it. So at the end of the first day, the lawyer came by and said like, okay, if you want to settle this case, we can do it now. I said, yeah, yeah, please, you can give me the amount that I was asking and I don't need anything. He said, no, no, we will not charge you, we will not pay you anything. Okay, and you also don't ask anything. I said, then why am I fighting this case? No, no, that will not work out. Again, we went to the next day and eventually I won the case. I could not believe that okay, I had won the case. But why I'm sharing this is because when Lord is there, we think that okay, we are doing things by our endeavor. We say mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayat grim. Okay. Even a lame can cross the Giri Parvat. Okay. So even in I am not a legal person. And I was fighting against a professional lawyer who has not lost a case. So so the Lord's arrangement is such that okay, he makes like, okay, he always wants to give credit. And I won that particular case, and still they did not pay me. There is and once that happened, it they decided not to pay me. So one day I went to the court and I said, look, it's been 2 3 months they did not pay. Oh, they said, okay, you did not fill up this form, you can fill this up and send it out to them. So I sent it out to their bank, to their employers. And then after some time I lost my job also. So for a few months I did not have job. And then I was going to our Radha Kunjapiri's temple. I forgot about this also, what I did. So at one point of time, it came that I had no funds. Okay, I was almost coming to the end of the funds that I have. And then one day I prayed to Radha Kunjapiri, Radha Kunjapiri, I'm coming to the end of my funds and I don't have a job also. And I think probably that day only, or probably the next weekend when I was returning back from Radha Kunjapiri's temple, I saw there was a check with the amount that I had won in the case, plus with 18% interest, they have given me all the amount. Okay, whatever I needed to survive for next couple of months. So why I'm sharing this is because in this incident, as I was thinking through this incident gave me so much intense faith that Lord is so merciful. Sometimes we may be going through the most difficult times, but Lord has special plans. Okay, I could have got that amount earlier also, but Lord knew that okay, when he will not have the job, he will need the amount the most. So that much merciful is our Krishna. He incarnates in this most beautiful incarnation, Narasimhadev. So let us all take shelter of this Lord Narasimhadev, so that okay, we come out of like, okay, what we need from them. If we just try to serve him nicely, I'll be very honest, I have not served him. Okay, I was not serving, and I am not even right now also I'm not able to serve. But the Supreme Lord is so merciful, incredibly merciful, to shower their unlimited costless mercy on even a small insignificant person like myself. And you all are so exalted. Let us make sincere endeavors that we just aspire for pure devotion, so that we want nothing in return. We want to just serve Lord. And that being said, I would like to conclude here. I'm so sorry for the delay. Hare Krishna. श्री श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। हरे कृष्णा। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Does anyone have any questions or any comments? We can take it here. If not, then we can conclude. Okay, since I'm not hearing, then I would
Hare
take it.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Nandini Priyamadaji.
And thank you so much for wonderful class and like pastimes and all the real time, pastimes like stories. That was very helpful, Prabhuji. And yeah, like you have narrated a whole Narasimhadev pastimes. Yeah. And we are like Thursday, it's Narasimhadev, right? So it is very helpful, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you so
Hare,
much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Nataji. Actually, just as you were saying this, one another pastime from my personal life comes to my mind, which I think I'll just quickly share that. So my father is also here. There is about few years back, my father was diagnosed with cancer, and he was also diagnosed with a severe blockage in heart. And at that time, the doctor said that, okay, if you try to operate him for his cancer, then he will die in the operation table because his heart has so much blockage. And if you try to operate him for his heart, then the cancer will spread across in his body. So which one do you want me to do? And I said, okay, this is like a choice between barren land and Dead Sea. Which one you want? this is this is so Shama Karunami was doing an exemplary service there, like, okay, trying to take my father to different kind of surgeons. I was here that time. Uh, but then, like, okay, by devotees' mercy, we were able to get to a very good hospital, very good doctor. But even though we got very good doctor, but still, like, okay, this problem was there. So he was first operated for his cancer, and somehow his cancer was supposed to be stage 3. And at that time, we had prayed to Dev, but more than our prayers, at that time, by a devotee's mercy, we got connected to His Grace Jananivas Prabhu from Sridham Mayapur. His Grace Jananivas Prabhu and His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu. So His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu was the worshipper of Sri Nrsimhadev from Mayapur. He would actually talk to Nrsimhadev daily. Shri Jananivas Prabhu would serve Shri Radha Madhav and Nrsimhadev. They would talk. Actually, they are and my father had no chances of survival. Only only like maximum 10% chances. So by their causeless mercy, His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu and His Grace Jananivas Prabhu agreed to pray for my father. And when they said that, okay, they will pray for my father, I was very convinced that, okay, whatever is the best outcome that is going to come out from this. So during the surgery of heart, this was at Narayan Hridayalaya. Devi Shetty's hospital. So many of you may have heard that name. So Devi Shetty is hospital is very big. There are so many doctors, so many experts. Somehow, during his surgery, some complications arose, and Devi Shetty himself was called in. What they saw is something extraordinary. They saw that the scans that they did few days back had lot of blockage, and obviously his survival was greatly at risk. But in the new scan that they are doing just maybe in a couple of weeks after like previous scan, they saw, and during the operation, they saw that a new passage for the blood flow has been created, which is where from the blood is going, which is where it is not blocking the blood flow. So they were amazed at how this new passage has been created and how it has been created in such a short time. How is it allowing this person to live like this? This is a miracle, actually. So they they themselves came out and they called Devi Shakti to show him that, okay, how is this miracle happening now? How is this person living? So at the end of this, when the surgeries were done, when we were done, like, okay, when we were going to leave this hospital, so I went with my father to the doctor. My Shama Karunamai was also there. So we went with our father, and like, okay, this doctor was very famous. His name is in all the articles of Times of India. It used to come because he had done like a lot of um, groundbreaking surgeries. So now that time my father told him that, okay, you are like God to me. It was that was his thing. आप मेरे लिए भगवान हो. आपने क्या कर दिया ये. So then this doctor, who is not even a devotee, he told, I am not God. I am just a person only. He is a non devotee. He is saying this. I did the same thing which I do for others also. But it is God who has made it work for you. There are many people whom I treat whose may be simple cases but who do not survive. But in your case, you survived. That is the God's plan actually for you. That is, and what we can understand is that is Krishna's plan. So we have to understand from this that we make God, we understand, okay, this person is God for us, but God is not so cheap. God is something like, okay, which is far, far higher than this. He's Swarat, he's independent. He does not, he can change anything at any time. If we are able to take shelter of him, then our life is perfect. We don't have to really do great things. We just have to love him. And even simple things that we do, that will really attract him. We just have to be sincere. If we have the taste for hearing about him, then through that, everything will manifest. This hearing and remembering and sharing. One thing I, the last thing that I will share with this and conclude, Srila Prabhupada said that, okay, this book distribution is very, very important for him. We can read books, we can hear books, but even if when we are sharing whatever good things what we hear, right, we should think that, okay, whom can I share this thing? For whom will this thing be helpful? And we should share it with them. It's not that, okay, whatever I heard, just tell to anyone who is there. But if something we find, okay, what would be helpful for this person? We should think like that individually for persons. And we should think that, okay, what is it that would inspire this person? We should always appreciate everyone around us. I was just yesterday actually one co-worker of mine was telling that, okay, I have worked with this company for 10 years, but no one has appreciated me. Okay. And this person was just telling that, okay, I mean, I just happen to appreciate this person just like that. But this person was saying, okay, I did so many things, but no one appreciated me. So I was thinking, that in the world that we live, everyone is looking for appreciation. If we just appreciate the people around us, then just by doing that, it will change the lives, it will change our life, and it will change the life of people around us. They can feel that Krishna is working through us. They may not know Krishna, but we know Krishna. And if we try to give Krishna through whatever we are doing, we don't have to always give Vani. It could be Prasad also, in whatever form one may accept. And that's it. We are that way we are doing service for Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Any final comments or any final questions, concerns, any suggestions, any corrections? If not, then we can stop here. Thank you all once again very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Dandat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur